Hello and welcome to the Sovereign Frequency channel. I'm genuinely glad you're here because this is not an easy conversation to have, and it's not an easy realization to arrive at. This video is for people who did what they were supposed to do, people who listened, people who delayed gratification, people who chose responsibility over risk, people who were told directly or indirectly, that if they followed the rules, life would eventually reward them with peace. And yet, somewhere along the way, instead of peace, something else appeared. A quiet tension, a subtle resentment, a feeling that your life was becoming smaller, not deeper. And the most disturbing part? Nothing went wrong. There was no collapse, no obvious mistake, no dramatic failure, just a slow realization that doing everything right didn't protect you from losing yourself. That realization is deeply unsettling because it raises a question most people are afraid to ask. What if the problem isn't me? What if the problem is the path I was told to trust? Most people never stop to question what doing it right actually means. It's rarely something we consciously choose. It's absorbed from parents, from teachers, from culture, from what gets rewarded early. Doing it right usually means being agreeable, being dependable, being sensible. It means choosing the option that raises the fewest eyebrows, the option that sounds reasonable when explained to others, and over time, right stops being a choice and becomes a script that tells you this is how a good life looks, this is how a responsible adult behaves, this is what success is supposed to feel like. The problem is that right is almost always defined externally by systems that need predictability, by structures that value stability, by cultures that reward conformity far more than truth. So you don't choose your life, you inherit it. The reason this path is so seductive is because it works at first. It reduces uncertainty, it gives you structure, it tells you what to do next. And that feels comforting, especially if you're intelligent, conscientious, or sensitive to chaos. The system rewards you early, praise, approval, progress markers, so you associate obedience with safety, compliance with success, and because you're rewarded for fitting in, you never realize you're trading something away. Not immediately. The path doesn't punish you, it conditions you. By the time you notice something is missing, you've already built a life around it. No one tells you what this path quietly costs, because the cost is not visible. You don't lose your job, you don't lose stability, you don't lose status. You lose orientation. Your inner authority weakens. Your intuition goes quiet, your sense of authorship fades, you become highly functional but internally disconnected. You're busy maintaining a life you never consciously designed. And because nothing is technically wrong, you assume the discomfort you feel must be your fault. So you adapt, you normalize it, you characterize it as being an adult. You know what's wild? Success can actually trap you. Sounds backwards, right? But here's the thing, when you succeed at something, it doesn't always mean you're on the right path. It just means you're really good at that path. And the more successful you are, the harder it is to walk away. Why? Because success shapes your identity. You're not just doing what's expected anymore, you're defending it. You've poured years, energy, and your reputation into it. So when that little voice inside says, "This isn't really me," it's easy to brush it off. Not because it's wrong, but because it's messy. It's easier to stay in the comfortable, respectable life you've built, even if it's quietly suffocating you. Success can be a gilded cage, shiny on the outside, but still a cage. You ever notice how lives don't usually fall apart all at once? It's not some big disaster, it's the slow, quiet wearing down. You wake up exhausted and no amount of sleep seems to help. The things you used to love doing now just feel like chores, and you catch yourself daydreaming about walking away from it all. But you never do. You're not unhappy, exactly. You're just numb. And that's the scary part. Because when you're numb, you start to believe that things can't or won't ever change. It's not a dramatic tragedy. It's just you slowly stepping back from your own life, one small compromise at a time. The thing is, it's not that you made bad choices, it's that you were following the wrong compass. You built your life based on what everyone else said you should want, chasing approval, checking boxes, instead of what actually felt true to you. And now it's not that things went wrong, it's that you changed. You outgrew the old rules. That restlessness, that's not failure, that's your soul asking for a real conversation with yourself. You might feel the urge to quit your job, walk away from everything, or make some huge, dramatic change. But here's the truth. Real transformation isn't about rebellion or burning it all down. Those are just reactions, another way of letting frustration or outside pressures dictate your next move. What you're really craving is sovereignty. That's a fancy word for something simple. Taking back your power. It's about remembering that you get to decide what's right for you. It's not about rejecting everything. It's about choosing what truly aligns with who you are, not just what's expected of you. This kind of change doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't need to be loud. It starts in the quiet moments, when you pause before saying yes out of habit, when you ask yourself, does this actually feel right to me? It's about relearning how to make choices from a place of honesty, not obligation. You don't have to destroy your life to feel free. You just have to start showing up for it in a different way, with intention, with awareness, with the courage to live by your own rules. It's not about making a scene, it's about making space for what matters to you. So take a breath, start small, notice where you've been on autopilot, and gently steer yourself back toward what feels true. That's how real change begins, not with a bang, but with a whisper. And that whisper, that's your voice. It's time to listen. As you head out, I'll leave you with this to ponder. When you spend your life following everyone else's rules, sooner or later you'll have to face what's true for you. Let that sink in. Maybe it'll spark something. See you in the next transmission.